Light, a source of hope, penetrating the darkness. The light of Christ illuminates the darkness of sin in our world and in ourselves. Lord, light the way so we can bring healing, hope, and understanding to this world, and especially to our brothers and sisters in Damascus, Syria.
Hi folks, Father Jim here. Welcome to the Monday mornings in Lent, where Jacqueline and George are talking today about the partnership between the Archdiocese of St. Paul and the Archeparchy of Damascus. George has really benefited. He's really grateful.
Here's one other thing I would love to hear. Yes, we've talked about connecting. We've talked about the different ways hopefully our communities can kind of serve each other, the gift that we are to each other, and about prayer. One thing I would love to talk about a little bit more is invitation. That's one of the big kind of like pillars. So here, there's like a discipleship pathway. Like how does it look to be a disciple of Christ? And one of the things that we talk about is invitation, like inviting people into it. And I guess I would love to hear your thoughts on the importance of invitation maybe, and maybe in a specific way into the partnership, like why is it important to invite others and to like experience this partnership? But even just in general, like inviting others into the faith, like what is the importance of that? Why, like how can we do it better maybe? Any of your thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, I feel like invitation is such a great thing in Christianity and Catholicism especially, to invite people to faith. But in this partnership specifically, just because people sometimes are unaware of, or like they don't know about stuff. Most people that I met have never heard of Damascus. I've never heard of Syria. I tell them I'm from Syria, and they're like, I have a friend from Afghanistan. I'm like, that's cool, buddy.
You're like, not.
Yeah, not the same, but it's okay. So I feel like,
really?
yeah, and most of them don't know what's happening there, just because like the news were covering like different stuff, and now it's just like off the grid. I feel like Syria has gone.
No. Gosh.
So yeah, I feel like it's just nice to like tell people about, hey, what's happening, where they are, what do they need.
Okay. Raising awareness, so to speak.
Yep.
Just invite them to know something about
yeah,
it.
just like there is Christians there back home, because that's like people don't know that. I tell them I'm from Syria, and they just assume I'm not a Christian, just because it's a minority, and I don't blame them. In Syria, you don't assume people are Christians because it's the minority. But it's important to remember that there is like minority there.
And they are there.
Yeah.
Wow, they need our, yeah, because if we just kind of think, oh, Syria, no Christians, then it's like, then there's no support, you know, like,
yeah.
And you're saying that support is
and the number is like declining as the years go, just because like the lack of, I don't know, just because of the discrimination, the lack of support, and just Christians are fleeing to another countries. And the number like went from, in Syria, I guess, from 2% to like 0.1%. It's like
0.1%?
It's like really small percentage. I don't know for sure, but I think it's really small.
Okay.
Like we did a project in my theology class here at St. Thomas on like Christians in the Middle East, and it's just not only in Syria, it's also in like Iraq, Jordan, different countries.
Okay.
But Syria because of the war.
Okay, what can people do to change that? Or like, how do the communities, like, I don't know, like, is there any way to stop it? Or is it like, the Archbishop Nasir, is he, like, how
Well, I feel like some of it is like necessary and you can't stop it.
Okay.
But a lot of it is just like because of the current circumstances, just because you can't do anything without electricity, for example, or without water. Water is like once a week, not for drinking, for like showering. That's also a reason why I use shower once a week.
There's no water.
And I can't even like, people, you shower every day? I'm like, that's a great opportunity for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So part of it's just like hard life. Are
like
they
economically, and just like the way of living is just hard to stay there.
Okay, so a lot of Christians are leaving as well. People in general, I'm guessing, are leaving, or
yeah, but especially like Christians.
okay, is it is it because of persecution, or is it just?
Well, through my research and the project that I did, it is because of prosecution of Christians in the Middle East.
Okay.
Like leaving the country because of the war, like because of your danger. That was like a different thing in the beginning of the war, where people were refugees because they were afraid they would die.
Okay.
But now, like it's just like because they're Christians,
Okay.
and it's like harder. They're leaving,
Okay.
and there is like programs that help Christians specifically like go to different countries
Okay.
and settle there.
Okay. So things like electricity, they're not just giving more hot showers, they're actually like helping the Christian community survive.
I would say so, yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of crazy to my mind, because I think sometimes it's hard for me like to link all the dots, to be like, oh yeah, this would help, this would help this. But sometimes when you take a step back, it's like, oh yeah.
You don't think about
actually
it,
kind of
yeah,
important.
until like you lose it. Because like I came here and there's electricity 24/7, and I like forgot what it's like in Syria. And then I talked to my parents, and it's just like dark there.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, ah.
Are you planning on going back after college?
Yeah. I hope so, because all my family is there.
Yeah.
I want to get some experience here and learn, and then like go back to my family.
That's beautiful. Build up the community there.
Yeah.
That's super, super cool.
If I didn't, who was gonna, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
People are leaving, I should go back.
That's powerful. If I didn't, who's going? Like
Yeah.
that. People should ask that question more. Like I think sometimes people are like, someone else will take care of it. But like being like, if I don't do this, who else is gonna do it? I don't know. I think that's the mentality you gotta have. So, are there some things that some common misconceptions that people have about Damascus that you wish people would know? Like, or have you run into any of that? Like, I guess you said that the Middle East is just like.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's desert, and
Okay.
it's not.
Really? What does it look like? What's the terrain like?
I feel like Damascus, just because it's the capital, it's just like a lot of buildings and
Okay.
like city, but it's not a lot of tall buildings like Minneapolis. It's
Okay.
shorter buildings,
Okay.
but it's a lot of buildings and apartments and businesses,
Okay.
and it's fun. I feel like it's really fun.
It's a fun place.
There's a lot more fun things to do than here.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah.
Dang, Damascus has beat Minneapolis? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Minneapolis has a very, I like Minneapolis a lot.
I like it too.
And St. Paul, for
It's
any
my
St. Paul
second
peoples.
home, yeah.
Second home, okay, I love it. What was I gonna say? So Damascus, I don't know if it was Damascus, but I've heard people say it was very, it's very, very beautiful. Like, I think at one point there was, in history books at least, you read about like people being like, Damascus is like the city, like.
Yeah, it was like the capital of multiple empires over the history. So there's a
Wow.
lot of like historical values there, and
Cool.
there's this like Umayyad mosque, which at one point was a church and then it became a mosque.
Okay.
So it's like filled with. There's even like a grave of a saint inside it, and it's a mosque now.
Whoa.
So it's like filled with history, and there's just a
Wow.
lot of these things there.
So rich layers.
Yep.
Wow, that sounds really cool. What's your favorite pastime? Like in Damascus, you're hanging out with your friends. What do you go do? Like.
Oh, definitely the old Damascus. There's like an area called Old Damascus.
Okay.
And it's just like these old house, like it's really really old, and there's like only place to walk because back then there wasn't cars, and it's still away there
Oh,
now.
yes,
So
okay.
it's just like away from
Narrow streets?
Yeah, narrow streets. There's like vendors and really good food to eat. And this walk is worth everything for me.
I want to go. I want to go see it. That sounds so fun.
It is.
It sounds really unique, historical, cultural, just like a really rich part of town. I love when I was in Croatia for a while. They had I was in Zadar, and they had Old Town Zadar, and I stayed. I don't think I walked out of Old Town like the entire time I was there, because I was like, this is where I want to be. Like it was just it's beautiful when there's like the older history and. I think someone asked you this last year when we had you at St. Paul's for a Q&A, but I'm going to ask you again because I forgot the answer. I think one of the kids in the audience asked, like, do you have a favorite food? Like, what's favorite go-to thing? Just to give us a better picture of Damascus, life there.
Well, now that time has passed,
Yeah, okay.
I miss all the foods there.
Okay.
But if I like had to pick one food, it's shawarma.
Really?
Yeah, I've had some shawarma in Boston when I was traveling now for New
Okay.
Year's. It's not as good. It's like 10% of the original thing.
Oh.
I told my dad to like send me some with people because we have like people visiting here.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, do you want something from Damascus? I'm like, shawarma. And they're like, we can't. It's gonna go bad. So I'm like, oh, dang it.
Aw. So have you tried? Aren't there a couple shawarma places in Minneapolis? St.
There
Paul?
is. It's not as good.
They're still the 10% level, or
Yeah.
maybe 5%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough. Okay, what is shawarma? It's like that meat, right?
It's like chicken on a big skewer, and they
Gonna knock the flange
yeah.
off.
And there's like a big knife, and they like get thin layers of chicken.
Yep.
On a pita flatbread with garlic sauce and pickles.
Sounds really
and
good.
then they dip it in the grease and char it on the fryer. I feel like this is a commercial for shawarma. If I ever open my restaurant, I'll let her know.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe that's what you gotta do. You just gotta open a restaurant for the duration of
Just
your...
forget the computer science.
Just be like, I need a shawarma restaurant right now. Oh man. Have you been back home since coming to St. Thomas?
I haven't. My visa is complicated. It's expired, my visa, because they give Syrians only 3 months of U.S. visa. So if I want to go back, I can go back, but I can't come back here. Like I have to reapply for the visa, and there's no embassy in Syria. So I have to go back to Lebanon, which I think the Archbishop did. Like he has been waiting for a long time for his visa, just because it's so hard. And I will risk not getting it, because the first time I was like put on administrative processing for like 3 months. I got it a day before I came here. I thought I wasn't gonna go. I was gonna go to China study at Duke in their program there.
Really?
Yeah.
So God worked it out like last second.
Yeah, last second.
You're like, and now you can go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so you can't go, you probably won't go back then until the last...
Until I finish.
4 years.
Yeah. But my mom applied for a visitor visa, so she might visit me in the summer.
That'd be so
Fingers
cool.
crossed. I
That'd
hope.
be really, really cool.
Yeah.
And you have to go, I think, because me and my sister, we looked at visas to get into Syria, and it's a little difficult. So we were like, okay, but we were told,
I don't think it is.
Here? Anymore?
Like for you to go
Really?
to Syria?
People said it was going to be hard to get in. I don't
I
know.
mean, you have to know people.
Okay.
You know me.
Okay, perfect. Now we're good. Problem solved. No, but that's what when we were first looking at it. They were like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get in. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I saw
whatever.
some like YouTubers, vloggers. They just like go, and the visa you just get it on the border.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you just don't get it, you go back to Lebanon, and it's also nice.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I wanted Damascus because I was like the partnership. I was like, I want to know. Like, There's the Archbishop has talked about churches and his community. So like, that's what I would be drawn to. Is like, okay, I want to see the churches there, the iconography, the old, the saints and the old market and stuff. But Lebanon is cool too. So yeah, I guess I could just show up and be like, if I get stuck, I'll just go back. Yeah. So anyways, I think that will wrap us up for today. Thank you so much for coming out, chatting with us, and just talking about being Catholic. With a slightly different background, but same faith. So
yeah,
thanks so much.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone who's like in this partnership in any way, even just like praying, because it is important.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope these videos enhance our Lent. Let's close by praying together on the prayer on the back of our donation box. Jesus, open our eyes to your gospel of love for all people. May our sharing help bring compassion and comfort to those who suffer and struggle to find hope, especially the church in Damascus, Syria. Amen. Saint Ananias, pray for us. Saint Paul, pray for us.